What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hopefully you had a fantastic holiday weekend or week, whatever you want to call it. But today we're going to talk a little bit about, is the housing market going to crash, and how you as a real estate agent can effectively navigate kind of this slowdown period, as I like to call it. So stay tuned. We're getting rolling here today. My name is Ernest Arica, CEO, founder of Lead Magnet, and we got some fun stuff in store for you today. But the big question, go ahead and comment on this video, whether you're watching it live or you're watching a replay, and on YouTube or on Facebook. Go ahead and in that comment section, let's hear what you got to say. Is the housing market going to crash? A lot of skeptics out there think it absolutely is. I think it's just fear mongering, in my own personal opinion. Having been a real estate agent for over 7+ years now, I've seen it all. I've seen all the fear mongering that goes on with this, and the finance economists or economists that kind of throw these projections out and get it absolutely wrong. So let's just dive in and see what's going on in the world of real estate right now. I'm going to go ahead and share here. I want to first just start off with housing market predictions, where mortgage rates are. I am absolutely not a mortgage professional here, but just looking at rates over the last several years, you can see back in 2021, 30-year mortgage was hovering around that 3% mark. And now we're right at about, as of today or 2 days ago, that 7%. We just saw that small hike go up right there. But you could see over the last several months, this is just basically flatlined and bouncing between that 6 and 7%. So are we finding a new norm? Go ahead and comment that in the section down below. Maybe you're a finance or a LO or mortgage loan officer. Go ahead and comment that. Let's see what you got to say. Is this the new norm across the board? Are we going to see rates go higher? Where are they going? I want to hear and hear. I want to hear and hear. I want to hear back from you and see what you think has got going on, or what's going on, right? So my prediction, I think these may go a tad bit higher than that 7%, but ultimately we kind of see them flatlining and doing their job in cooling the real estate market, as I would like to say. Now, where I think a lot of kind of these economists go wrong is they absolutely become naive to the law of supply and demand. And supply and demand is still in full effect. In fact, we're actually seeing some homes go above asking price in certain areas. Now, I say that and put an emphasis on that because not at all areas are actually seeing this. And in fact, in places like Seattle, you're starting to see those home prices they're starting to actually decrease just a bit. You could see a single family home here in King or Kitsap County are starting to kind of plateau and flatline, as the Seattle Times would like to say. Now, this has been hit or miss. And what I'm seeing from my active and practice in real estate is that some homes go for more, some homes sit longer, right? It's not in particular to the home, it's in the exposure now, right? There's a lot of buyers out there, not a lot of homes for sale. But where we see agents fail the most, and I say that loud and clear, where they fail the most is in their marketing strategy. You're in a new market. Your marketing strategy needs to adapt to the new market. Your day and age of being able to list it, put it on Zillow or in your MLS and have it syndicate to Zillow and Realtor.com, kiss those goodbye, because those days are gone. If you're still doing that, I don't give you very long in getting listings and losing listings. Effectively marketed. What I mean by that is you need to have adopted some sort of digital landscape tool where you're going and pushing that property out to the buyers and where you know they're coming from. So if you know they're coming from California and you're in New York, you need to make sure that you're strategically placing ads where those buyers are coming from. You also should understand how to do this and what ads work best. Through practice, you should have been doing this for the last 3 to 4 years, even though your listings, right, your listings maybe were already selling super fast, right? But again, kiss the day and age of just being able to put it in the MLS and have it syndicate to all the agents' websites. We even see some big brokerages pulling their syndication and going more for in-house listings, right? So we've seen that from a couple big brokerages that have recently come out and say, you know what, we're not going to put our properties on the MLS anymore because we want those listings to stay in house and not syndicate to other agents or other agents' websites. And they're doing this because they understand what's coming. They understand that they're going to market that property, retain all those buyers, generate all those leads for their agents, and keep it in house versus other agents kind of reaping the reward of another agent's listings. So it's imperative to your success that you have some sort of digital landscape. But what we're seeing in Seattle here, I'm a licensed realtor in the state of Washington, and I'm a broker here in Texas, San Antonio. And what we're seeing is in Washington, we're seeing these kind of plateau, while in Texas, we've already started in particular pockets to see those homes come back down in price just a little bit, right? And I put an emphasis on that as well, because not all homes are being reduced. There are a lot of homes that are still selling for asking price and, in fact, driving a lot of traffic. And that's because the agents priced it right. It all starts there with the pricing, but B, the agent's done a really effective marketing campaign on that property, exposed it to as many buyers as possible, and got it out there in front of the correct buyer, and that property sold. Boom, gone, right? So what do we see? U.S. housing predictions, what's going on in the world of real estate? Again, I always like to reference the supply and demand effect here because it is in full swing. There is still a huge lack of inventory from the same time last year, with an influx of buyers who are basically still looking for a home to buy. So the law of supply and demand doesn't just go out the window because interest rates go up. The, and um, the it's still in full effect, right? So if there are not many homes to sell and more buyers, homes are still going to sell. It's not just going to hit a brick wall and magically stop because interest rates hit 8%. People still need homes. And as an agent, you should still be marketing to those people and trying to find them those homes. But is the housing market going to crash? In my own interpretation, absolutely not. Do not fall for the fear mongering that you see investors posting, or these videos going across all your social feeds where, hey, your house is going to depreciate in value. Let me buy it at a reduced 70% reduction, right? Don't fall for that. It's not crashing, right? We still have a lack of inventory. The main point here is that maybe the equity that you've built in your home over the last 5 years, or 5 to 8 years, 3 years, however long you've been in your home, you might see a small portion of that go away. But I think in some interpretations that it's like 3.5% in some areas, right? So 3.5% of maybe the 200% in equity you've already gained. Personally, we bought a home in Washington State for $308,000 and in exactly 2 years turned around and sold it for $500K. So was I really worried about 3.5%? Absolutely not. I would have lost that, still stayed in my home. It's not going to completely lose all of that equity appreciation that you've built, right? Unless things just go absolutely haywire or wrong. So housing market, in my opinion, is still going to remain steady. Yes, you're going to have the ups and downs. Home prices might come down in some areas and go up in others. Again, the supply and demand law. You got to remember that supply and demand. If you have a lack of inventory and more buyers looking for those things, prices go up, even though interest rates remain high. Now, what does it do though when interest rates go high? Is it actually pulls like certain buyers out, right? It makes them fall out of specific price range. They got to go look for other areas, but it basically just kind of reshifts where buyers are looking. So that's why you see some of these sub pockets here in San Antonio specifically are like, homes are flying off the market. You can't keep them on. And then in other areas, it's like homes sitting for 30 days, 45 days, and even going expired, right? And that's just because of where the buyers are looking to buy, right? Some buyers are well qualified and in that, higher price point, and some buyers who are already teetering, looking in a specific area and were already in that kind of higher ratio, are having to look in other areas because the interest rate jumps up 1/4% or 0.5%. And now they're going to go look in another area, right? So just keep that in mind. I don't think housing is going to crash at all. I think, in fact, as long as we have a lack of inventory and still an influx of buyers, we're going to see the home and housing market continue to move. So with that being said, let's dive into some strategic opportunities here for you. As an agent, what should you be doing to effectively navigate kind of this cool off or this slowdown period? And what's becoming more and more apparent is becoming a hyper localized agent. What I mean by that is picking not all of San Antonio, but picking a super localized area that you want to go and become the local market expert in then, right? What are you going to do then once you identify, right? The first step is identifying that area. As an agent, I would love nothing more than to be San Antonio's go-to real estate agent. But the simple and the matter of the fact is that I cannot do that, right? It's too broad of an area. I don't know every single area here, but I do know general market history and market activity, right? However, I do know the area really well in which I grew up in, right? I grew up in this area. I've been in it for 35 plus years. I think that's right. Anywho, you can really know and hone in on a specific area. Maybe it's an area you actively find yourself selling homes in, right? You sell in the 78247 zip code, or you sell in Carlsbad, or you sell in Oceanside, or you sell in this specific neighborhood a lot. And what you need to be doing is becoming super localized. So what we're doing over here at Lead Magnet, and we're about to have some huge news coming, but we have in our rebranding websites to be super localized. So these websites will be specific to your zip code or neighborhood. You can see this is a 78247 homes for sale. Get real-time access to all the homes available in 78247 zip code, real-time market data. This is going to be an About Me section. Let me go ahead and reload this page because I want to show you some cool stuff. But you can see how the items scroll in. Market health. This is all super localized to 78247. So 68 sold, 205 active. You can see the recently solds on here in the 78247 zip code. Again, this is getting all beautified. We're going to have a really nice web designer go in here and create more engaging art and get more creative with it. But the fact is that the data lives on here. All your testimonials are going to be on here. These are super and hyper localized pages and websites. You as an agent should have a provider that has these pre-built for you. And if they don't, give us a call, leadmagnet.com/realtor. Let's get you hooked up with a complete solution that does this. We're even working on a first-time home buyer, right? So becoming hyper localized in a specific niche or area is going to help you navigate this cool down period. So whether it's becoming a first-time home buyer, maybe you're a listing specialist in 78247, we're going to have niche specific sites that you can use and brand towards you that will help you drive and become that localized agent, right? So stay tuned. We got more coming, but you should already be doing this. I've been doing this for years. You could go ahead and see, this is a Google site I built before we started working on our 78247 homes for sale. But this is a Google site for a specific neighborhood. So you as a real estate agent, if you live in a neighborhood with an HOA and you got a community page and you want to drive traffic, you need to go build one of these or use one of our templated ones and rebrand it to your neighborhood because these are going to drive a lot of traffic. Like, for example, in our community group, a lot of people ask the question like, hey, what colors are approved for roofing? So based out of our HOA docs, we have all of that listed on here for them. And this page is easily shareable. It's been shared over 2,500 times by homeowners in our neighborhood. And we're helping people actively navigate through everything they're looking for, right? It's got fence colors, architectural committee. So if you need to apply for something to be built in your front yard or backyard or in addition to your home, it's got even like our Stuping Ranch Patrol members on here. It's got small businesses from people in the neighborhood. We're building these hyper localized websites, and this is what's helping us really stand out amongst the competition. And it's all redirected and driving back to our homes for sale in Stuping Ranch. So for example, they click on this. Now, this isn't the best SEO. I'm going to tell you that right out of the gate because it takes them to another website. That's why we're building these other micro sites that are going to basically have an IDX feed integrated into it. But you can go ahead and see all of the just listed homes for sale in Stuping Ranch. It has a nice geographical layout here with a map so they can see where they are on the map. This is a strategy that you as an agent should have already deployed well before kind of this cool down period. This is going to help you really understand and really highlight yourself as those market experts, right? I say this because as we navigate through higher interest rates, a still lack of inventory, it's going to become more apparent that you as the agent should be doing this simply because it's going to be too difficult to compete with kind of the water hose method, right? Where you try and spray and capture or spray and dry or throw your net out and capture a buyer lead. Because what's going to happen is that buyer lead, if depending on where they're at and where you want to be, they may or may not continue through with their home search based off of market conditions, right? We're seeing this all too often. I'm part of a bunch of big real estate groups, and I see and hear from agents all the time saying, my buyer decided to wait because interest rates are now too high and they don't qualify for the home that they want. So this is why I say it's becoming more and more apparent to become hyper localized, because you can determine what neighborhoods you work, not meaning you don't want to get in trouble, right? I should say be careful with that. You don't want to be getting in trouble with RESPA and CFPB or redlining or steering, any of that stuff. But when you do this, you can basically hone in on a neighborhood and become the market expert for that neighborhood and hopefully win the listings, right? That's the idea here, is that if you're looking for more listings, this is the proven method to get it. We also have cool products here at Lead Magnet that'll help you really hone in on that with snail mail. We could also put it into a custom audience where we monitor lifestyle changes, and at the right time, we're delivering all of your marketing material directly to those homeowners. Again, smash and go to that goleadmagnet.com/realtor. Check it out today. Let's get you set up. But is the market going to crash? Absolutely not. Low inventory, even with higher rates, influx of buyers is going to continue to drive the market. It's going to continue to push it forward, steaming forward. The train, the locomotive is still going. Home prices in some sub areas may go up, some may go down. It just all depends on the market and where those buyers are buying or price point of which those buyers are buying in. But again, your marketing strategy should be tailored and geared towards becoming hyper localized right now. Right now is the best time to come in and lock in an area. These are all exclusive with us because basically you're going to be the only one we brand in these areas. And we're going to make you stand out as that local expert. My name is Ernest Enriquez, CEO, founder of Lead Magnet. Hopefully you found this very useful. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, thank you for being part of our group. Remember, if you're part of the Facebook group, send this to your friends and everybody, coworkers in your office. Let's get them joined in on this group so that they get the access to this creative marketing content of which you have access to. And let's get them rolling today. Have a great Friday, everybody, and a fantastic weekend. We'll be back on Monday. See y'all later.